Don't you hate it when you go to visit your husband's family for what's supposed to be a 2-week vacation, but he keeps you there against your will for the rest of your life?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, that's what happens in this film, based on a 1984 book of the same name, on what apparently is a true story. From 1991, this is Not Without My Daughter. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
Yes, and please consider joining my Patreon, where you can view exclusive content. It's only $3 a month, the link's in the description, thanks. Right, on with this film. Actually, first, I'm aware some of you may think I'm cynically trying to capitalize on recent events by putting the word Iran in the title and the description, hoping to get more views. Well, you'd be 100% correct, and I'm not even slightly ashamed. Secondly, this is not political commentary. It's supposed to be a humorous plot recap of a film. I'm not claiming to be an expert on the Middle East. I have my researched and considered opinions, just like you have your ill-thought-out views, based mainly on what the celebrities you like have said on Instagram. But this is just a stupid little video, so let's not get into any of that. I'm sure Iran in 1984 was a wonderful place to live, just like it is now. Right now, let's get on with the film. This is Betty, and she's the main character.
Hi.
Her husband Moody moved to the US from Iran 20 years ago, and together they have a daughter called...
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to embarrass myself trying to pronounce that, so I'll either refer to her as the child or leave it to the actors. Speaking of actors, Moody is played by Alfred Molina, who, despite playing the part of an Iranian, is of half Spanish and half Italian descent. Now, before any of you start an online harassment campaign against 72-year-old Molina, please remember this was made in 1991, when it was okay to do Arab face.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I meant Persian face. Anyway, Moody is a doctor at a hospital, but some of his colleagues make no secret of the fact that they don't like Iranians, so Moody gets in a mood. Now, younger viewers may be confused by this sort of attitude, but in the 80s this was definitely a thing. Conversely, in some places in the UK today, if you put two doctors in a room with an Iranian, you'd have a tough job trying to stop them noshing him off.
I'm a Muslim.
Okay, at this stage, I feel I need to make it clear that I have nothing against Iranians. In fact, 2 of my friends are Iranian. And yes, I know that's what racist people say to make them sound less racist, but this is genuinely true, and they're both very nice people. Well, one is a very nice person. The other one I've not seen for a while. He's more a friend of a friend. And just last weekend, I heard that after confessing his love to a married woman and subsequently being rejected, he started harassing her to the point whereby he's been threatened with a restraining order. But that's neither here nor there. So moving on. The kids at school have also been bullying the child, saying she must hate America because her dad's from Iran.
I'm as American as apple pie.
Well, more on that later. The next morning, Moody gets a call from his older sister who raised him back in Iran when his parents died. She's not seen him for ages and is desperate to meet the child.
We have to phone her more often.
Your phone's no good. She wants to see me.
Betty's like, well, why doesn't she just come and visit? But he's like, no, we have to go there. She's like, fuck that, it's too dangerous. And he's like, no, it isn't.
I swear to you, on the sacred Quran.
Ah, well, in that case, so here they are in Iran. Initially, it's a bit of a culture shock, but all Moody's family are really happy to see him and pleased to finally meet the child. Moody's sisters even bought Betty a gift. Oh, look, it's a chador.
Yes, of course.
He's like, yeah, and you need to wear it now. In the car on the way to Moody's sister's house, Moody explains that before the revolution, the dress code wasn't as strict.
What would happen if I didn't wear this?
She says you get arrested.
Oh dear. And it gets better. When they arrive at the house, the family slaughter an animal at the front door.
They give the meat to the poor.
Oh, that's okay then. Betty really struggles with how seriously religion is taken in Iran, and this comes to a head when they go out shopping and the police point a machine gun at her. Why? Because some of her hair is showing.
You must not be careless.
A few days later, Moody needs to have a chat with Betty.
I got fired from the hospital.
She's like, why? And he's like, oh, it's because I'm Iranian.
What?
Betty's like, right, well, we're going home tomorrow and we'll sort this out. But while they're packing, they're told they need to take passports to the airport 3 days before any flight out.
How could you not take care of the passports?
I don't know how to say this to you. We're not going back. We're staying here.
She's like, no, we're fucking not. And he's like, yes, we are. They're desperate for doctors here. Plus, I want the child to be raised Muslim.
No, you can't keep me.
Now you listen to me. We're staying here.
Oh, my goodness.
The next 10 minutes of the film is Betty moping around and Moody telling her parents to piss off every time they call the house. Betty's not allowed to use the phone or leave the house. One day when Moody's out, she calls the American embassy to tell them she's being held against her will. So the next time it's safe, she heads over there.
You are married to an Iranian?
Yes.
If you marry an Iranian man, you automatically become an Iranian citizen.
So it's back home to a warm welcome from her husband.
Where were you?
I went for a walk. Huh? We went for a walk.
Oh my gosh.
You try anything like this again, I'll kill you.
At an unspecified time later, on the child's birthday, Betty tells Moody she wants to give life in Iran a chance and make it work.
You don't really believe that, do you, man?
No.
But she insists they have to move out of his sister's house and in with this slightly more normal couple. On their first night there, Moody's uncle comes to visit. He's a really important man in the community. So when he suggests that Betty attends an English language Quran class, Moody has to agree. There she meets another American woman called Ellen, and they find out they have a lot in common. A lot in common.
I gotta go. No, really.
Ellen and her husband invite Betty and Moody round for dinner that night, so that's happening.
And dinner is served.
When alone in the kitchen with Ellen, Betty asks her to secretly take a letter to the US Embassy, and Ellen agrees. After a few weeks, Moody finally trusts Betty to go to the market on her own, and here she meets pro-American suit shop owner Hamid, who lets her use the phone.
I like America very much.
He hears her on the phone talking to the US Embassy, so the next time he sees her, he tells her there's someone he wants her to meet, his sister, Miss Nassimi, who can help her get back to the US.
I will be here Wednesday and Thursday at this time. Here is my telephone number.
When Betty gets home, she finds out that the child has been crying all day at school, so the teachers have asked Betty to go with her from now on.
They're all devout women there. You'll be watched.
The next day at school, so everyone down to the bomb shelter. Next day at Quran school,
You should not behave this way.
I had to tell Homos.
You cannot have secrets.
thanks, Ellen. The next day at school, Betty thinks she's made friends with some of the teachers.
Could I use the telephone?
Telephone now.
Oh, okay then. So she sneaks off to meet Miss Nassimi's friend Hussein, who says he'll help her escape Iran. But uh-oh, she's late back to school. And it's home time. But oh good, she's off again, through the streets into this phone box, where again she calls the embassy. The following day at school, Betty's brought the woman from the embassy with her.
This woman is from the embassy. I need to take Marta.
Nah, impossible.
My God, all this woman says is nah, 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 nah.
Nah.
Okay, I'm a bit disappointed with that. Let's try another one. That's better. I love that song.
Okay.
As you can imagine, the atmosphere at home is pretty dire. So Moody, who by the way still hasn't found a job, moves out and takes the child with him. This would be an ideal time for Betty to escape, but she won't leave without her daughter. 6 months later...
Wait, what?
Yes, 6 months later, and it's the child's birthday again. Betty has been behaving like an obedient wife/slave for the past 6 months in order to quash Moody's suspicions. But next time she takes the child to school, she sneaks off to meet Hussein. It's helpful that Moody's finally found a job, so she's got more time to make secret plans. It seems Betty's finally allowed to use the phone now because she gets a call from her mum telling her dad's not got long left to live. Incredibly, Moody tells her she can go home to visit them, but she's not allowed to take the child.
I can't go without Marta. I'll go without it.
Oh dear, that's not gone down well. So she's either going on her own or not at all. Hussein tells her not to leave the child with Moody's family because some people in Iran consider girls ready for marriage at age 9.
Gross.
Back at home, Moody's reminding Betty of the house rules.
If you don't do exactly as I say, I'm going to have to lock you up for the rest of your life.
And that evening, a stroke of luck. There's an emergency at the hospital and Moody has to go back to work.
Good.
Betty grabs the child and tells her watchers that she's off to the market. But they're not going to the market. The escape is on. And first they get to this safe house where she calls Moody and tells him to fuck off. But they need to move on quickly or they'll risk being caught. So they switch from car to car and make their way through the first checkpoint. The next day they make it through the mountains to the next safe house where they can get a good night's sleep.
At last.
But uh-oh. Luckily, this other guy comes over and he's like, come on, Ibrahim, not now.
What? Unbelievable.
After that close call, it's up another mountain on a horse through a sandstorm until they arrive in Turkey. And what's this? The US Embassy. So everyone's really happy, yeah. Well, Moody isn't. He's going to have to find another wife to beat. I must point out that while this is presented as fact, it's only one side of the story. Moody wrote a book in response to this called Lost Without My Daughter in 1987, but it wasn't made into a film and I don't read, so I'm just going to assume that this version is true. Anyway, that's the end of the film, so until next time. Thank you for watching this video, please like and subscribe, and please consider joining my Patreon, there's a link in the description. Thank you.